In this video, we will discuss about recovery, recrystallization and grain growth in plastically deformed metals. So let us start. Polycrystalline metals which are plastically deformed below the absolute melting temperature produce a lot of microstructural and property changes. These changes can be in terms of grain shape, strain hardening and increase in dislocation density. So the energy which is expended in the deformation process is stored in the material as strain energy. So these properties can revert back to the pre-cold work condition if we give them certain heat treatment. Such restoration results from two different processes that occur at elevated temperature, which are known as recovery and recrystallization, and they can be followed by grain growth. Let us see what is recovery. So during recovery, the internal energy which is there in the material is relieved by the virtue of dislocation motion. This is because of the atomic diffusion that is happening at elevated temperature. Here there is some reduction in the number of dislocation, and the dislocations which are there, they come to a lower strain energy. Also, some of the electrical property and thermal property are recovered and they revert back to the pre-cold working condition. Recovery takes place at low temperature of annealing. Apparently, no change in microstructure happens during recovery process. Excess point defects which are created during the cold work are absorbed at surface or grain boundaries. So let us go through this image and see how recovery happens. So here we can see there are different dislocations which are there. As soon as you increase the temperature, the dislocation of the opposite sign, they come together and they annihilate each other, means they destroy each other. And the number of dislocations will reduce, and in turn some of the property will be recovered, like electrical property and thermal property. Also the strain energy will be reduced. This phenomenon is called as polygonization. After recovery, when you keep on increasing the temperature of heat treatment, the next step that happens is recrystallization. So what is recrystallization? In the process of recrystallization, new strain-free grains are formed. These grains are equiax, that means they are of same size throughout and they are characteristics of a pre-cold work condition. The driving force for the new grains to form is nothing but the difference in the internal energy of the strained and the unstrained region. The new grains which are formed, they are formed by consuming the parent material, and this process goes on and on with the help of short range diffusion. Here in this image, if you see the small speckled grains which are there, which are started to form, these are new grains and these are the result of recrystallization process, and they will go on and these small speckled grains will increase in size as you keep on increasing the temperature. During the process of recrystallization, the mechanical properties which were changed because of the deformation process, they will completely revert back to the original form as in the pre-cold work condition. Also the material becomes very softer, it becomes very weak and it is more ductile. Now let us look at an image and see what are the different stages of recrystallization. Here specifically we will see an example of brass. So here figure A shows that the material has been cold worked to around 33%, and the grain size, you can see they are oriented in a particular direction. And now let us see what happens after we do the heat treatment and what happens during recovery and recrystallization process. At 3 seconds at a temperature of around 580 degrees Celsius, you see very small grains, they start to form, and this is the starting of the process of recrystallization. This process is very fast. So in the next image you see that just around 4 seconds at around 580 degrees Celsius, these grains, they start to grow at a very rapid rate, and the complete recrystallization process is completed at 8 seconds at around 580 degrees Celsius. So this is the process of recrystallization. You can see that in 8 seconds the entire process is completed at around 580 degrees Celsius. So basically what you need to do is you need to heat the material to this temperature for going through the recrystallization process. If you don't achieve this temperature, then you are only in the range of recovery. Also, the recrystallization temperature and the temperature of recovery is different for different material. Let us look at this graph which shows us the change in mechanical properties related to the temperature of recrystallization. The blue line here is the tensile strength and the red line is the ductility. So you can see the relationship of tensile strength and ductility as compared to the temperature of recrystallization. So as you are increasing the temperature of recrystallization, the tensile strength is decreasing, that is the material is becoming more softer, and the ductility is increasing. That means you can deform the material more easily now because it has become more softer and weaker. If you want the material to be at such a point that you want a strength of the material and you also want ductility, then you have to have a give and take. So you have to come to a compromise, or you have to come to a point where these two lines are meeting. At that point you have the maximum strength and ductility. If you go beyond that temperature, increase the temperature of recrystallization, basically what will happen is the ductility will go on increasing and the strength will come down and the material will become very soft and weak. And after you go on increasing the temperature, what will happen is there will be a grain growth. So the grains will go on increasing in size, and then this phenomenon is called as the coarsening of grains. So the grains are just growing bigger in size. This will not achieve anything. So you need to know the maximum temperature of recrystallization, where you want to stop and what size of the grains you want, and you need to stop there, or else the grain will just go on increasing. As you see in the plot which is there just below the plot of tensile strength and ductility, the grain size will go on increasing as you are increasing the temperature of recrystallization. The temperature of recrystallization is generally half to one third of the absolute melting temperature. Also, it is dependent on a number of factors like the percentage of cold work and the purity of the alloy. As I said earlier, after the recrystallization temperature, if you just keep on increasing the temperature, the grain will grow in size, and this is called as grain growth. So obviously no new grains are formed. When the grains are growing, they are growing at an expense of the smaller grain. So they are basically eating up the smaller grain and they are growing at their expense. Let us take the same material, brass, and look into the micrographs of brass and see what happens when we increase the temperature. So here we see at 15 minutes at around 580 degrees Celsius, the grains will start to grow. So you compare this image with an earlier image which we saw of the recrystallization. Here we see that the size of the grains are increasing and they are bigger than the earlier grain. So as we increase the temperature to 700 degrees Celsius and we keep it at that temperature for around 10 minutes, you can see the grain size is also increasing. Let us look into the different factors which affect the recrystallization process. So the first one is melting point. So higher the temperature of melting, higher will be the recrystallization temperature. Also the degree of cold work. When the degree of cold working is also higher, the recrystallization temperature is also lower. Third is grain size. So finer the grain size, the recrystallization temperature is lower. Purity of metal. If lot of impurities are present in the material, the temperature of recrystallization will increase. Fifth one is heating time. If you keep the material for longer time of heating, the recrystallization temperature is lower. Let us summarize what we have studied today. So we saw recovery, recrystallization and grain growth. So after plastically deforming the material, lot of strain has been imparted into the material and we need to relieve all these internal stresses, and we need to revert some of the mechanical property to the pre-cold work condition like ductility and so on. So we do a heat treatment called as annealing and we try to recover these property. So at a temperature of recovery, we tend to recover some of the properties like electrical property and thermal property. There is no change in the microstructure. As we keep on increasing the temperature, we come to recrystallization temperature, where new set of strain-free grains are formed which are equiax. That means they are of same size and all the properties are reverted back to the pre-cold work condition. And when we keep the material at the same temperature for a longer time, or we keep on increasing the temperature, there will be a grain growth. Grain growth will happen at the expense of the smaller grain, and the grain will go on increasing as we increase the temperature and time, and this process is called as grain coarsening. Thanks for watching. All the best.